let's move to the next division. Let's move to the AFC South and maybe one of the surprising last place teams in the National Football League, but I do not buy them at all this season. I think we're going to see some major changes in this organization when season is over, and that is the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Colts are going to be one of the worst teams in football this year at 4-13. Listen, say it out loud. Bad defense, by the way, in a division with three either up-and-coming quarterbacks or quarterbacks who've kind of already established themselves in the case of C.J. Stroud. Bad defense, which Indianapolis has. Coach potentially on the hot seat, with Shane Steichen. There's been some rumblings. It didn't seem like he had that great of control of the locker room last season. And a quarterback room which features Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Call me crazy. I don't think I buy that football team. Listen, I understand the weapons they have as it pertains to Tyler Warren, as it pertains to Jonathan Taylor. I get what they bring to the table. And again, I could see with some good coaching moves next year, drafting a new quarterback in 2026 in a draft, by the way, that is chock full of really talented young upstart guys. I do not buy Indianapolis this year. I think they're going to go 4-13, and that will be that. Third place in the division, they'll take a little bit of a step up. They'll actually double their wins from a year ago. The Tennessee Titans, my hometown team. Not my favorite team, my hometown team. 6-11. Tennessee will go. Listen, Cam Ward to me was clearly the best quarterback in what was kind of a weak 2025 class, if we're all being honest. But I liked what I saw from him in the preseason. That throw against Atlanta where the ball was dropped was like, whoa, okay, that's the Cam Ward we saw at Miami, being able to move around. The arm strength is there. Again, the running game is fine. The defense, comes and goes. I think Brian Callahan's actually a pretty smart offensive coach. I think he can help. He can help Cam Ward be successful. But again, offensive line, wide receivers, it's not really there. Tennessee, just on the back of Cam Ward being, I think, the best rookie quarterback in football this year, will be competitive. They'll be kind of a frisky team. They'll go 6-11. A couple of those wins will be upsets. They could mess somebody's season up when it's all said and done. But again, they do also have a fourth-place schedule, so that makes things easier on them as well. Here's, again, AFC South is where I'm making a few kind of bold predictions. Colts in last place, Titans in third. There's some folks that have the Titans in third. In second place in the AFC South and missing the playoffs, the Houston Texans. Here's why. Listen, I believe in C.J. Stroud just like the next guy. The problem is the Texans' offensive line fell apart at the end of last season. So what did Houston do? They said, you know what? We're going to trade our left tackle, Laramie Tunsil. We're going to trade him to the Washington Commanders. What? I understand there might have been some issues as it relates to maybe character and not showing up on time. That's a left tackle. You do not give those away for nothing, and it feels like the Houston Texans kind of did. Defensively, they'll be as strong as any team in football, and they have been because DeMeco Ryans is their head coach. Their defense will keep them in most of these games. But listen, let's just, again, think about how Houston finished last year with Laramie Tunsil there. Beat up offensive line. Tank Dell, gone. Stephon Diggs, gone by the end of the season. Now Joe Mixon is hurt. He's going to miss the first few games of the year. So I think Houston's going to get off to a slow start. You could see them maybe having like a Cincinnati Bengals push to the finish. Remember Cincinnati won their last 5 games last year, almost got in, but didn't quite get in, finished 9-8. I think that's what you're going to see from Houston. C.J. Stroud's going to be asked to do a lot this year. And I think for a third-year guy, that's going to be a little bit too much on the table. So I'm this year not a buyer at all in the Houston Texans. And that means at number 1, it is put up or shut up time for my guy, Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars, 11-6, winning the AFC South, getting back to the playoffs for the first time after a couple of down seasons, barely missing out in 2023. Trevor got hurt at the end of the year, and then last year just completely fell apart. It was a disaster for Jacksonville. Here's the thing. Again, put up or shut up time for Trevor Lawrence. This is 4th coach. Again, 3rd legitimate coach. I mean, Urban Meyer. What that was? Come on, he didn't count. But you had, or rather, no. I guess this is his 3rd coach. My bad. You went from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson. Now Liam Cohen coming in, the former offensive coordinator, very good OC with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think you see a situation where it's okay. Brian Thomas Jr. Was one of the top wide receivers in the National Football League a season ago. You add Travis Hunter, who's obviously going to be impactful on both sides of the ball. I like Jacksonville's offensive line. The reports coming out of training camp are saying, hey, this looks like a new and improved Jacksonville Jaguars team. Again, I keep mentioning put up or shut up time for Trevor Lawrence. Folks, this is year 5, okay? This is kind of an opportunity where it's like, okay, we've brought in new coaches, new weapons, you got a solid run game. The defense won't be as bad as it was a year ago in the division. It's not exactly a murderer's row. There's some bad defenses in the AFC South, most notably Indianapolis. You've got to absolutely take the horse by the reins and get the job done. Trevor Lawrence showed signs at the second half of 2022, the first half of 2023. He got injured. Haven't really seen that same guy since. My man, Trevor, I believe in you. I was a huge fan of you. Coming out of Clemson, it is your opportunity to show up, show out, get the job done, lead the Jacksonville Jaguars to a win in the AFC South and get them back to the playoffs. I like Jacksonville, quiet off season, aside from the Travis Hunter drafting, which in the eyes of many, Travis Hunter was the best player in this past draft. So again, I am a Trevor believer, have been from the jump. That first rookie season was rough. Second half of year two, it's like, holy crap, this is a top 5 quarterback. And then he's kind of taken a step back in the last couple of years. This is an opportunity for him to establish himself as one of the top guys in the National Football League in the AFC South, especially with the injuries Houston has, with the just chaotic mess that the Colts have, and then with Tennessee, it's an upstart team. They're not quite ready to make that leap just yet. And so I'm hearing with the Titans, there are folks that have out there, it feels like the discussion around Tennessee is a little bit similar to the discussions around the Washington Commanders going into last year. I didn't have Washington get in the playoffs. I don't think anybody had them going on the run that they went on to the NFC Championship game. But there was the sense of, man, young, talented quarterback, coach we like. Now, in the case of Callahan, not as established as Dan Quinn. But yeah, we have some concerns as it relates to personnel. The roster isn't great. Probably not top 20 in the NFL. But you're like, okay, this team is kind of building in the right direction. I feel like you're seeing similar discussions from last year's Commanders to this year's Tennessee Titans. Tennessee will be a respectable team. They'll be a respectable team in 2025. But the Jags, it's your last chance, Trevor. I still believe in you. But you got to get the job done this year. The Jags will win the AFC South. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.